My first guest in studio with me is Mr. Brian Altunian with WOWIO Incorporated. Brian, always good to see you.
Thank you, Don. Good to be here.
Now, I know we're right on the precipice of a major event with the company. There's a filing of the S-1. Drum roll, please. The filing of the S-1 that we've been talking about for some time. That's really imminent at this point, isn't it?
It is, and it's taken us a little bit longer than we thought, but for a good reason, and I'll go through that. First of all, for people who don't know, an S-1's a registration statement. When companies file their traditional IPOs, they file the IPO using an S-1. It's an SEC filing designation. With companies that I've been involved in the past, the companies have raised money privately through private placements. They've brought early investors on who really kind of believed in the dream of what the management was trying to accomplish, and they invested really with no clear idea of an exit. You know, they're not day traders. These are real, true believers. And then what the company does as a way to give them an exit strategy or a liquidation event, they take those shares that they've previously sold and they register them with the SEC. So allow those shareholders to trade those shares out on the market. And you know, again, these are believers in the company, so they believe that the company is going to do what they can to let the world know that what the company has and the value that it has, and hopefully buyers will come and shareholders will have a chance to sell. So the companies I've been involved in, they've done those kinds of registration statements where they register all of those shares. And that we started to go down that process, and then, you know, looked at what was happening in the marketplace. And so WOWIO has, first of all, we have an ebook distribution platform that's significant because we also have this patent. The patent allows us to insert ads into ebooks, and we're ahead of the market, right? People are saying, well, there's nobody going to say an ad in an ebook, but it is coming. Yes. It's coming, and all of the big players are coming to the table. Microsoft just invested $300 million in a Barnes & Noble subsidiary that controls the Nook. All of the major players are looking at the ebook space now as an opportunity to reach a consumer. So we know that it's coming, and we know that it's big. We also know by our conversations with financing folks that this is an area of significant interest. And so rather than just register the shares for our shareholders that have been with us for 2.5 years, we're also going to offer IPO shares, so a new offering as well. And we're doing a blended, really kind of a blended filing, registering the shareholders that exist and offering a block for new investors to jump in as well. It takes a little bit longer time than the traditional S-1 preparation. So it's taken me, you know, it's taken us a little. I say me because I feel like I'm doing all the heavy lift, you know. But it's taken us a little bit longer to get this thing done. But we want to do it right. It's kind of like production. You know, I'm familiar with the production space. So the more you do in pre-production, the smoother production goes.
Exactly.
So we're just spending a little bit more time up front getting this S-1 filing up to date, getting it clean, accurate. The audit is just about finished, and so we're feeling really good about this. And I know I've been saying we're 2 weeks away for several weeks, but we really are. We're about 2 weeks away now from completing this.
Well, of course, you know, and the other thing a lot of folks don't realize is that anytime you're doing this kind of preparation, it involves auditors, accountants, attorneys, and let's face it, I mean, they're wonderful people, but they work on their own schedule.
Without a doubt. And you know, it's interesting because, you know, especially when you deal in the world of intangible assets. So companies who have patents and patent portfolios, and you know, we've got this patent and this value. There's the way you know, GAAP accounting rules dictate how you put that on your books, how you take your, you know, we have contingency royalties. I mean, all of the accounting work that you think is just traditional, you know, pluses and minuses, cash in, cash out. Not when you're going the route that we're going. So GAAP accounting rules really dictate how we change the books and to make sure that we comply, to make sure that we put true value on, so that the shareholders, when they look in the financials, get a real true picture of what the company really looks like.
And the big thing to remember too is that when you're a private company, as you are right now, you're in a box. You can't see inside the box. You go to the transition of being a public company. Now you move from that box into a glass house.
That's right.
Everything is 100% transparent, and so all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed.
Without a doubt, and it's funny because, you know, business owners do things to propel their business forward, not really thinking that, oh, well, somebody's going to question, well, why was this charged to this category and not that category? I mean, simple things like that. But, you know, once you go, you open the kimono, you let everybody see everything that's going on. And so, you know, you have to prep for all that, make sure all your documentation is in place. But the best part about that is that the more we do now, the fewer questions the SEC has as we get to the public market, the smoother that transition to the public market.
Now, you know, you've mentioned the patent a couple of times, and I think, you know, you probably, I don't want to say you take the patent for granted, but I think it's important that I point out some of the people that you won that patent over. I mean, i.e., you know, we're talking about Amazon, we're talking about Google. I mean, when they were going after what you have, that puts a tremendous value just by association.
Yeah, without a doubt. We've had a third-party valuation done on the patent. We're actually part of this process is we're having that valuation firm come in and do an update because the market has matured since then, and those folks are coming back in. And you know, Yahoo's recently made forays into the space. So a lot of the big players are definitely looking at this space. And when you think about the digital distribution of content, it involves advertising to subsidize the cost. Right. Our kids are used to playing, you know, Angry Birds and having an ad pop up. They don't think twice about it.
Right.
Reading a book on a mobile device, it's going to have an ad. If it makes the book free or makes the book available at a lower cost, people are going to consume more, and that's ultimately what we want to see happen.
I mean, it's like, you know, you look at it from a television standpoint. There are channels with commercials. You don't have to pay to watch them. There are channels that don't have commercials. You have to pay a fee. It's the same thing. People have become accustomed to that. There's no longer a barrier to entry, so to speak.
That's right. That's right. And there are a lot of models out there that exist that really support what we're doing. You know, Netflix, as an example, you know, you pay one fee and then you put all the movies in the queue that you want to see eventually. Those movies you probably wouldn't go down the street and go jump in your car and rent at the store, but always movies that you want to see. And books are the same way.
Yes.
You may not be able to go and find a book that's been out of print, but if you can get it digitally and it's free because there's an ad in it, hopefully you become a more voracious reader. And at the end of the day, that's the betterment for all of us, is that we become more consumers of literature and hence literacy.
More people reading more books online, seeing more ads. You can charge more for the ads. The whole thing just comes together. Once again, it's WOWIO Incorporated. Their website is wowio.com. We've been following this company now for close to 2 years. Every time we have an interview with Brian, it gets more exciting. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Don.